Hey guys, TehJew22 here, and we're back. And also, hello Odyssey gamers, we're back, and I'm going to go back to the Boo Ring course again. And hopefully we can finally put this to rest here. I'm not going to lie, this one, it really tests your patience, it really does. So I put the leaf down there, but that was a bad idea because I lost it, and I lose a life. But anyway. But it really does take a lot of patience. It really does. And obviously you got to be a bit quick on that one because, well, if you're not, you might get caught between hitting a boo or hitting that Goomba that comes down. Just like that. Okay, well that time I was able to get through. But yeah, you really got to watch out for that ring of boos. And I fell. But yeah, I mean, this one tests your patience, if nothing else. It really does. There you go. So that's the kind of jump start you need to get through there. And unfortunately, there just was no way I could avoid it. It's a really difficult thing to do. Okay. And thankfully this shoots money. It doesn't shoot bullet bills or anything. That would... I mean, I just find it so cool that it does that. Okay, so for this one... You gotta get in the ring, but also make sure you don't hit the boos. Alright, get out of that one. Get him in this one. And finally we made it to the checkpoint. After what seems to be a billion years. And for this one, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to take any chances. I'm going to get through this. Because I do not want to fail this again. And this one, it's a side-scroller at this point. And, oh. Unfortunately, wow. Wasn't doing too good there. Okay, so I got another mushroom. Alright. And then you have these giant boos, but of course you know what to do. You jump in between, wait for your opening, and then just get the hell out. And, well, I did not mean to take a capture. I meant to pause, but nonetheless, we finally did it, but it really should not have taken as long as it did, honestly. Oh. Okay, so we're back, and not sure what happened to my sound, but anyway. We're going to continue with the Underground Menace. This thing is invasive as all get out. It's taking over all my other crops, and we have to kill it. I mean, really, what person in their right mind grows a killer plant? I mean, I've heard of Little Shop of Horrors and all that shit. Anyway. But that's one of the ways you kill that plant, is to jump onto it. Thankfully, there is no... You just simply go from point A to point B. And I was just checking to see if I could use any of my items or anything like that, but thankfully I don't have to. Okay, so now we move on. And this one is just as simple as, you know, avoid getting hit and getting to the other side. That's practically what this is all about. and also not touching the plant. And thankfully they give you a lot of mushrooms to get through this. But yeah, it all comes down to patience. You have to be patient. That's one of the great life lessons I've had to learn when I was much younger. Okay, so now we just get through this, but I mean, just like in life, you have to be very patient. Just like I have to be patient with, well, with a lot of things, and it's not just, you know, it's life. That's all I will say. And I noticed that part of this level is submerged in water. I'm not sure why. I just find that a little weird. That's all. But nonetheless, though, we're working our way to 2,000 coins. And what I was trying to do was trying to look at the list of levels, but apparently that was not enough. So, save me snake block. So basically, we're going to a test lab that features a bunch of snake blocks. Wait, Jake the Snake, is that you? No. Of course, any old wrestling fans might know the reference, especially of Jake the Snake Roberts. Oh, now this one. So the thing you gotta do is stay on this snake block. And take your time slowly, though, because if you rush into it, you might get hit. And also, be sure to swim underneath the snake block so that the thwomps don't get you. And definitely keep moving, especially when the bonefish are in sight. So just stay right there. Well, unfortunately, I got hit like an absolute dummy. But anyway, we get to this other one. And rinse and repeat. Make sure you're on the left side of that one. Also get underneath it. And make your way onto to the left, or to the right, I should say, and to the goal. So that one was not as tough as I thought it would be. I thought it was going to be tougher, but thankfully it was not. Okay. So we're making our way to 2,000. And once again, I just wanted to show that... Or actually, no, what I was trying to do was get to 1,300. My mistake. Then again, that's kind of what happens when you forget what you said in the original live recording, because, well, like I said, I had an error on my headset, something that's never happened before, and I'm like, what the hell happened to it? Anyway, the name of the bird is Yamamura, and of course I, you know, for the most part called him Cuckoo, but his name is Yamamura. Don't ask me why his name is that, because I don't even know. With this one, you have to reach the goal without landing after leaving the ground. So once you jump, you cannot touch the ground. So you have to reach the goal without landing on the ground. So this one took me a couple of tries before I realized what I had to do. Of course, you obviously need the what is it called, the cape. And first couple of times was not too bad, but once I got to a certain part, I struggled. So you do want to hold on to the vines. Anything you can do to slow the momentum. But unfortunately, yeah, I touched the ground, so I failed, and I had to start over again. So yeah, it took me a couple of tries to do this. It really did. And thankfully, it wasn't as hard as I thought it would be. I thought it was going to be difficult, but nonetheless, though, we'll try again. That's the thing about life. You always gotta keep trying. You gotta always try new things. Try something new, and try something different. You know, it doesn't make sense to keep doing the same thing. Anyway, I got past that first one, but I couldn't get past that second one. So, and one of the steps I just noticed was, oh, I have to hold the A button or the jump button in order to keep flowing, or floating, I should say. I thought about using a part, but I figured, nah, let's not do that. They already give me a good... Okay. Thankfully, the inner tubes don't count as part of the ground. If it did, it would have been ridiculous. So eventually I found out what I was supposed to do. I'm supposed to hold the button. And go the rest of the way. And by doing this, it turned out to be much, much easier. But you have to grab the vines. And I'm happy that they included that, otherwise it would have been much, much difficult. It really would have. And of course you want to get off at the highest peak, because you want to make sure you get as much air as possible. Just make sure you don't get hit by the chainsaws. If you do, well, of course you're going to lose your power and you won't be able to land. Now, one thing you want to do is not touch the platform, which is those donut, they're called donut platforms, really. Not sure why. But what you're supposed to do is hold on to the jump button and float. That's what's going to help you get through this. And then let the wind be your guide. And yes, you can actually land on enemies in order to keep going. Yeah, because without that stipulation, I would have failed this, honestly. You can even jump on that big one. But as always, just follow the coins and do stomp on some Goombas if you need to. There's that one up. I mean, I could get it, but not that I really need it. And they give you a clown car, which doesn't count as the ground, so now you can just freely move at your own pace. Just make sure you don't hit anything, or anything doesn't hit you. So yeah, you just have to be slow but steady. Unfortunately, I was not slow and steady, so I lost my cape. And to myself, I was thinking, oh, I might lose this if I have to use a cape or anything. But thankfully, that was not the case. But you just have to approach this really slow but steady. Also, don't be afraid to charge up your shots. You can have some fried calamari for tonight, boys. And then, of course, jump into the pipe. And now we get to ride a Lakitu 2 cloud. And I wasn't going to mess around. I was just going to get my 10 coins and get the heck out of here. But nonetheless, though, that was not too bad. And I got 80 coins out of that. Oh, yeah, and Yamamura pays you 200 for completing the level. So I thought that was nice. Although how a bird pays you, I don't know. I honestly don't understand that. Castle's going well, but now I just need to collect 2,000 to do both the east and the west hall roofs. So then I go back to, well, his name is Undo Dog. In fact, he was the dog that was responsible for accidentally undoing the work that we did on Peach's Castle originally. Alright, so we're doing this level for the second time in as many episodes, and so yeah, it took a while for me to figure out what I'm supposed to do. So basically, you just wait for him to swing back and forth, stand in the middle, and then move. It takes a number of times to play it in order to figure out, oh, this is where I'm supposed to stand, this is what I'm supposed to do, and also, whatever you do, don't jump. Now this one kind of was a bit tricky, and as a result I ended up getting hit. But if nothing else, if anything, it takes memorization. So if you can memorize where the chomps are going to land each time that you play this level, you should be fine. And also know where to stand when... There you go. Then get past them and then move. For this next one, yep, gotta stand right there. So for this one, I had to back off a little bit and then get underneath him. Now for this one's not too bad. You just have to wait for him to go down and then get past him as he's downward. And then right here, I decided, you know what? Let's get a star. Let's finish this once and for all. Let's put this in and put this into rest here. Okay, so I got that. And then I start running. Go through the pipe. And it turns out they gave you another one, so you can run. And finally, we got through that level. That one was a pain in the butt to do. But finally, it was so worth it. And for that, you get the reset dress. Of course, it works with the female me, but, you know, who am I to judge? So we're now 65% of the way completed with building the castle. And from time to time, it definitely helps to check out and see what has been respawned and things like that. Like these coin blocks, these question mark blocks. But definitely, this series has, without a doubt, been much fun than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be tedious, but it actually turned out to be really well. And this one is called With a Lantern. What do you think of this pitch black underground that I made? If you make it to the end using just some dim light, I'll reward you well. Well, how fun it is. And you're about to see how not so fun it is, as we're going into Super Mario Bros. 1 mode. So the switches do a couple of things. They move these P switches around, which these P switches act like lanterns. So I touched the P switch only to find that there was a hidden pitfall there. So now I know that I'm not supposed to, you know, hit that. I mean, this one took a couple of tries for me to do. And another thing you gotta do is approach this really slow. And then this one, well, it turns the coins into solid brick. Unfortunately, I was too stupid. Well, actually, it wasn't that I was stupid. It was just I misjudged my jump, and I jumped into that. So then I decided, well, okay, well, let's get a mushroom in there. Classic mushroom. That way I can have 2 hits. Or an extra hit, rather. So as before, you move slowly. So for this one, you just have to move cautiously. And another thing I forgot to mention was I had to watch out for those spinies that fall from the ground. And because I went too fast, I didn't see those things coming. But after a while, I ended up finding out what I'm supposed to do. And then I found that hidden block, which lights up the room temporarily, though, but only for like a short time. All right, let's hit that and move on. Get that 10 coin coin. There's some that are worth 20, some that are worth 30 or 50 or 40. So that now you see them coming. And then let's hit the P switch before going any further. Finally get that checkpoint, so now I don't have to worry about that anymore. And then stand on this POW block and then crouch. And then supposed to hit that off block, turn it on. And then go down here. And then let this thwomp do all the work. And make sure you hit the on and off switches whenever you see them, because you never know when you'll need it. Also, watch out for the POW block, and I made a blind jump. I wasn't sure if that was supposed to be a good idea, but it turned out well, thankfully. And finally, the exit. A bit anticlimactic, but finally we were able to get through it. But until then, that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed that. And hopefully after the next episode, we'll be back to live commentary from this point onward. Until then, have a nice day, everybody.